Poppin', y'all. This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great, and even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that oftentimes it is easy for someone to get pushed into being someone else because they're too afraid to be themselves for fear of offending or making someone feel bad, you know what I'm saying, or having that person push away from them because they're different, you know what I'm saying. They are someone that's maybe not like them, but due to it not being widely accepted, imagine how we suppress ourselves a lot, you know what I'm saying, to try to fit in, to try to make people comfortable. What I'm realizing about life currently is that I respond and react and say what I need to say at any point in time. I don't hold myself back for fear of being, you know what I'm saying, pushed away, shielded, disliked, because personally I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you and respond and communicate to you exactly how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically off instinct. You know what I'm saying? Your body reacts to situations the way it feels it needs to. The only reason why you find yourself like suppressing yourself is because you're trying to figure out how to react subconsciously, because you basically maybe studied this person and you feel like if you don't answer this right or do it this way, they're going to be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want to be around you or whatever the case may be. And what I notice a lot about life is it's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be put in situations and around people that you have no control over. If you focus more on being yourself, you know what I'm saying, than trying to alter your personality to fit what you think another person may like, you know what I'm saying, you suppress yourself in reality. And that causes anxiety, upsetness, irritation, irritability, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed that about myself. So me personally, a lot of times you may find yourself overthinking, like, dang, did I respond to that correctly? Did I say what I needed to say to that correctly? You know what I'm saying? Was I not supposed to talk to that person? You know what I'm saying? They betrayed me. Should I let them back in? You know what I'm saying? You find yourself questioning that over and over again. But in reality, you are supposed to respond exactly the way you are supposed to respond. But it's unconscious. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself. Just be regular. And it will tell you which way to go. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to be mindful and truly processing and understand that everybody does not have a brain like that to be open. So their receptors to be able to process how a person is hard, you feel me, when they've been programmed to only be acceptance or open to this or that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all in reprogramming, reshifting, being able to, you know what I'm saying, understand and process someone. And I say that to say, like, I had a situation today where, like I said, sometimes you're just moving through life, minding your own business, and certain things happen exactly the way they're supposed to happen. And the way you respond to it naturally is exactly the way you're supposed to respond to it, because that's you being you. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you have a lot of people that want the world to keep surviving off of darkness. So because of that, they often tell you to be mean, be aggressive, be this, be that. No, you feel me? I'm going to kill you with kindness. You want to know why? Because it's not a damn act. It's exactly who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if you choose to play that, or you choose to finesse me, or you choose to think you getting over or use me, hey, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be happy by the consequences. You know what I'm saying? You thinking you doing something, but you really not. Simply because who I am is not an act. It's really who I am for real. You know what I'm saying? And again, you just have to realize that sometimes you'll be called to be yourself in situations where maybe you thought you had to be dark. Maybe you thought you had to be aggressive. Maybe you thought you had to be mean. When in reality, that's not the case. Your softened heart actually a lot of times has an automatic, energetic reflection. You know what I'm saying? To the darkest souls of people who've been trained and operated to act dark. You know what I'm saying? Towards people. Like, say somebody betray you right off the back. You mean to them. You don't talk to them. You don't respond to them without even understanding, like, Maybe they betrayed you because they really thought in their mind that's how life was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know no difference. You know what I'm saying? And so now you mean to them, and what happens is that fuels that animosity. You know what I'm saying? That darkness. And then the world is just completely dark. But once you wake up to who you are, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you spend your life trying to control shit. Like you're trying to control what happens in the day, how you operate, how things go. But sometimes things happen that you least expect because they're basically monitoring and paying attention to your reaction and how you move when you respond to the situation. It's set up like that and designed on purpose. Because think if you knew it was going to happen all the time, you'd automatically calibrate your responses and how you going to act and what you going to do. You know what I'm saying? Life is not set up or designed like that. So that's how you really get to tell if a person being fake or being real. You know what I'm saying? I know that oftentimes I get faced with people really being their true selves when they come to me. Because of the simple fact that I'm a real, genuine person that accepts everything about myself. You know what I'm saying? The flaws, the negatives, the put downs. Only reason why they're like that to other people is because maybe they're not open to certain things that they've been controlled and mind controlled to, you feel me, reject. But what I realize is that when a person gives you exactly who they are, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they're needing the reassurance to be able to understand that it's okay to process that, but at the same time, I'm not going to change myself because who I am is going to automatically give you the energy that you need to process and grow. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I find myself in situations where I be like thinking to myself, how should I act? What should I say? Am I acting towards this person the right way, even though I know they betrayed me? You know what I'm saying? And truthfully and honestly, whatever you were directed to do in that moment is exactly how you're supposed to be and respond. How they receive it and perceive it now is up to them. That's not up to you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be smart and wise enough to know and understand when you pull who you are back from someone that's processing on their own level. Meaning they may be en route to understand, but they're not at that moment. So if you keep trying to force it on them, you know what I'm saying? They're only going to kick back and give you the side of them that's not ready to accept that yet. And if you keep feeding them that, you basically giving your energy away. You know what I'm saying? You have to allow people to process and on their own. And the only reason why I'm really saying this, because you got to really think. A majority of the energy that has been on this planet has been very dark. Operate alone. Be yourself. Stay away from people that betray you. Don't go back. Be ugly. Be mean. But the world is generated by humans. So because that's the case, if you spend your whole life being afraid to even talk to anyone or scared that someone's going to betray you or do you wrong, you're actually being afraid of being yourself in a world where it is okay to be yourself. It's just if you're too busy taking in and consuming the energy of people who don't have the ability to be free themselves, they're automatically going to project that energy onto you. And now you're going to feel like you can't be free in a world where it's a democracy, meaning we have the right to be free. You know what I'm saying? You, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, you know what I'm saying, and you just being yourself, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, only you really know what takes you down and makes you feel less than. Only you really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have someone come to you in your face and say, hey, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. Because deep down inside, you know it may be wrong for you, but you might not be ready to move on yet. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to deny it and you're going to make it seem like what they're saying is wrong. Even though you know when you leave them, they're going to be exactly right. They know exactly what they're talking about. But again, what gets in the way of that is pride. Pride of not wanting to yet understand and grasp the fact that you need to grow and move on from that. And someone else is telling you. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't ready to hear it yet. So you automatically go against what they're saying. And that causes an argument solely because you know what they're saying is true. You know what I'm saying? You're just not ready to accept it yet. And that's fine. But as a person who could be, a lesson ahead or have improved in their life circumstances mentally, you know what I'm saying? You just have to know when to pull back. You feel me? Because, again, I could find myself always predicting how I'm going to respond, how I'm going to act, how I'm going to be with certain people. And you just can't predict that. Just be yourself. Naturally, your body will tell you what to do. without second guessing or thinking about it, because that's you being yourself. When you got to second guess and think about it, you putting on which match you gonna wear to fit their identity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that's gonna do that. I'm gonna respond and I'm gonna react to it exactly how I am. I'm not a mean person, but trust and believe, you know what I'm saying? You take my kindness as a weakness, you're gonna get a rude reaction from that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact, I should be allowed to be in a world where I can be myself without the fear of rejection. Simply because I've probably went through a lot of rejection in my life of being too nice. You know what I'm saying? Because the world was surviving off darkness. Everybody was mean and ugly to each other. Nobody had the ability to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think of how that caused reactions in people. You have some people that's my age that still have the mental mindset of children because they have not met someone in their life that is able to, you know what I'm saying, give them the love and energy that they need to be able to grow. You have people in life that pretend to be dark and angry and serious all the time because they really have a heart of gold. And they're just afraid someone is going, you feel me, scar that. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like to, you know what I'm saying, not, like, there are people who be like, smile, smile, smile for me. I'm not a person that goes around smiling. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I just don't. I wear a serious face because I don't have time to play with people that think my kindness is something they should target. That think my kindness and being nice is something that they should be able to use to their own advantage, because you're going to get a rude awakening. You know what I'm saying? Once I am able to identify what I'm dealing with, then you'll get the real me. But until then, you know what I'm saying, this serious face stays on. If I naturally have a bond with you and, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to be myself around you because you're a real one, you'll get a different side to me. But until, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to go through that door, my gate is closed. And I have every ample opportunity to be that way simply because I allowed my gate to be up with the people, some people in life who didn't want to see the best for me. You know what I'm saying? And in turn, that crippled and damaged me. You know what I'm saying? But again, this video was just to, like, give people insight into, like, when you second guess yourself in being who you're supposed to be. Like, when I was younger, I used to have arguments or, you know what I'm saying, discrepancies with people, and then I would go and have time to myself and I would replay the conversation over and over again. Like, damn, did I really say what I wanted to say? You know what I'm saying? Did I really react the way that I was supposed to react? And you're second guessing yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you have to do that, that means you're not being the real you. When you don't second guess yourself on nothing, you know what I'm saying, and you stand firm in who you are and you give it exactly the way your spirit is telling you to respond, there is nothing that's going to be affected by that, except for that person's ego or their pride for maybe not being able to respond to you the way they could or should because they haven't yet grown to that space. That's not your fault. That's theirs. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have to deal with that. That has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's all about forming who you are in a world where you'll have so many people try to control you and tell you who you are. So a lot of times people feel uncomfortable in the world around people. You know what I'm saying? They feel as if everyone's judging, everyone's making them uncomfortable. And truly it's because you maybe grew up in an environment where you didn't have the ability to freely be yourself because you were being judged. You know what I'm saying? And now for you to actually truly be yourself is scary. You know what I'm saying? But I promise you, if you were not doing that, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, the type of energy that basically haunts your lifestyle simply because you're going against being yourself to fit what you want other people to fit, to do what you want other people to be comfortable with. Within the end, they're going to do what they're going to do to make themselves comfortable, and they're not going to think about you, you know what I'm saying, for 1 second. So be mindful in understanding that how you respond and how you react may seem wrong to people who are not that way. But if you are being yourself, any reaction you give, any conversation you have, it's natural. That's you for real. Don't let nobody come in and try to finesse you or control you out of what to say and what to do. That's why it's very imperative that you be mindful of who you tell stuff to, because people will articulate finesse and try to control you know what I'm saying, the conversation to fit their narrative and basically jump you out of who you are so they can have access to controlling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being that person no more. I respond and react exactly how I feel I want to. You know what I'm saying? And if you go against that or you feel some type of way against that, that's on you. But I'm no longer not going to be myself to benefit someone else. This is me. This is what you get. I don't live in a dark world. You know what I'm saying? I feel love is the answer. I feel kindness is the way. And once you exude that in a type of way where it's receptive to people that maybe have never had that, imagine the type of energetic change that you influence to the people around you. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing is, you can't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that you can't be afraid of what someone says about you and who you are, because that's the easiest way to manipulate you into being something they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? If a person is not receptive to who you are, it's because, you know what I'm saying, they're different. They're in another lane. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get up to that status, maybe you got to recheck yourself. But again, you know what I'm saying? Being mindful and understanding that as people are the ones that create this world. People with ideas, people with determination, people with grit make all the things we use to survive off of. A regular human mind that breaks out of the conform of being told who to be. And they go against the grain and they create something new every day. You know what I'm saying? And that is the ability to basically detach from people that want to control who you are for their own gain, because they have nothing to feed off of, because they're afraid. They're afraid of being themselves in a world where they've been shot down, you know what I'm saying, and told it wasn't okay to be themselves. And listen, I understand, but be patient with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're reacting exactly how you're supposed to react. People don't know kindness in this world. People are offended by it. People are scared of it because they're too afraid of, you know what I'm saying, not believing that it's real. It's coming from a person wearing a mask because they're really dark for real too. And that's because that's the energy we've been living off of. I'm here to tell you it's a different era. You know what I'm saying? And continue to be you. Continue to respond the way that you need to respond. I'm telling you, if you got to think about it, it's because something is telling you that maybe what you're about to do may not be the right response. But if you just do it freely and naturally, it's because that's exactly how you're supposed to respond to that situation. You know what I'm saying? Being yourself. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.